Welcome to the Rise to Enterprise call. We've got an exciting R2E14 Growth Conference recap and training call. Tonight is going to be a very special call with a training by the one you know and love, our President Asma. Hello Beautiful, the new mobile app, it is live both on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. It's only $1.99. We have a ton of incredible feedback. It's the ultimate tool for the 90-day challenge for only $1.99. It's a perfect before and after picture tracking your progress with the follow-up for your after pictures. It times them from 30, 60, 90 days. It sends you reminders. You can share them on social media, post and share the results, and you get product instructions, dosage reminders, all of that and more. So download your Hello Beautiful app today in the App Store for your Apple products, your iPhones and iPads, and of course for Google Play for your Android phones. So check that out and download that today. All right, we are going to get right into today's training because there is so much to cover with all of the news from Rise to Enterprise 14. And as you know, tonight we are going to cover specifically product training on our skin and sport products, new products that were launched. And at the very end of tonight's webinar, we have a very special reminder offer that we're going to talk about. So without further ado, I am pleased, it's my honor to welcome and announce our President, Asma Ishaq.
Thank you, David, and hello, everyone. Welcome back from Rise to Enterprise, or, R2E14, as you know. We had so much fun with you, and I'm really excited to be talking about our new product. So before I get started, David, do you want to just let me know if the quality of the sound is coming through okay?
Sounds loud and clear. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Well, let's get started here. The purpose of tonight's call is because I thought it was important that, we had gone through so much, and I loved how I think it might have been Nancy Howard on one of her calls described how it felt to be at Rise to Enterprise. It was like the finale of the a fireworks scene, where you just see one after another, after another, after another, and it was so exciting. And it seems like we had so many announcements, so much to learn, and I wanted to take a little bit extra time to be able to go through our new product and be able to answer any particular questions for all of you too. If you have any, if you're on the webinar, you can always pop them into the questions right there, and I will do my best to be able to answer them as well. So the first thing I want you to know is, as you can see at our growth conference, we announced the two main flagship products in addition to all of the wonderful marketing tools as well. And that is the addition of the skin and the sport to the liquid BioCell lines. Now we have the life, the skin, and the sport. And before I go into the training specifically on this, it's really important to know how we're going to position ourselves and why we did what we did. The purpose of having the skin and the sport added to the line is because we really wanted to achieve and go after some new demographics. We wanted to be able to expand our ability to bring on growth in different areas and different target markets based upon specific, sort of conditions or specific requests that people had or the intended use that they wanted out of our product. So I get this, I'm going to answer a number of questions at the end of the session. But it has to do with people asking, well, which ones do I take now? Can I mix the different products? All of those kinds of things I'm going to get to toward the end of the call because that way I can answer other questions as well. So one thing you'll notice right away is the beautiful, beautiful branding aspect of this. You can see that the life is really targeted toward our baby boomer market, which we an anti-aging perspective, really holistic, full holistic approach. What we have been doing for the past 4 years now, 4.5 years, and now what we have with the skin is to go after this nutracosmetic industry very, very specifically and in a targeted fashion. And then, of course, this is obvious, but with the sport to go after the athletic market and get our name out there in sports nutrition. So I'm really pleased to say that even with the launch of this just over the past week, we've received a lot of attention. So I think you'll probably start to see, even announcements being made, or different press even asking questions about this, because these are really intriguing products for both of these contexts. So let's get started first. Let's go into the Liquid BioCell Skin. In your product catalog, you're going to see this, these 2 pages on there. It's beautiful, and it has the wholesale price on here, the retail price. You're also going to see the key ingredients, and that's what I'm going to focus on today, is tell you about what makes this different than the Liquid BioCell Life. So I'm assuming that many of you are probably familiar with the Life product, and that's the basis from which I'll start. But what we'll do first is identify the key factor here is that this product has the same potency of the Liquid BioCell active ingredient as the Liquid BioCell Life does. So the skin, again, has the same benefits that you'll find with the active ingredient in it called Liquid BioCell. So that is something that won't differ between the 2 different products. What's making this different is the addition of a number of different ingredients, and that is what I'm going to go through a little bit more in detail. So, of course, because it has the same potency of the Liquid BioCell, it's also going to have the same benefits on your joints. So just because it says skin on the label does not mean that any of the joint health benefits go away. So remember, when you're thinking about marketing this product, you're really thinking about the needs of the consumer. If this person is truly interested, or if the person that you meet when you're out on a walk, or when you're prospecting, or you're building your business, if their true intended benefit, and if they're going to find the Liquid BioCell Skin product really appealing, then that's why you're going to approach them with this product versus a different kind of a product. But just because it says skin on it, the joint health benefits remain the same. The same type of benefits to the cartilage, the synovial fluid. I mean, every aspect of joint health, every study applies to this product just as much as it does with our Liquid BioCell Life product. So again, added ingredients target the skin benefits. The price on this is $150 per case, and that's slightly higher than the Liquid BioCell Life, but that's really important because this one has a number of different ingredients in addition to what our core product, the flagship product, the Life product was or had. And of course, what we don't want to do is cannibalize on our current auto ship base already using the Liquid BioCell Life product. So, again, this is for you to go after targeted, markets and new demographics using this product here. And of course, what's beneficial to this, and this is one of the reasons why this is a little bit different, and it's not just the added ingredients, but we also support this product by supplying you with a mobile app that we have really invested in heavily to be able to do. And this technology is, and although there's lots of companies in the world that have apps, there are very, very rarely a company, especially in our industry, that has a mobile app technology, and especially in the way that we're doing it right now. So I am really excited about the potential that even just the Hello Beautiful mobile app brings to you, and the kind of a tool it is to be able to support your growing businesses in that way. So let's talk about the key ingredient here, aside from the Liquid BioCell, which is the phytoceramides that are included in our formulation. You may have heard of ceramides, and probably the way that you should look at this is if you're thinking about collagen as a peptide, you can look at ceramides being more a lipid, really. And if you take even the root word cera, in Latin actually means wax. So this lipid molecule, ceramides on your skin, is actually helping to create a barrier, and this sits on the very, very top layer of your skin. versus what collagen and HA are in the deeper layers of your epidermis, dermis, and hypodermis, and actually produced over there. So if we go to the next slide, you'll also see that older skin has less ceramides, younger skin has more. So again, deeper wrinkles are caused often by the declining rate of ceramides in your skin. And these are a few different, qualities of this very, very important and well-researched now at this point, very critical component, which really completes the skin health benefit picture. So with our active ingredients, Liquid BioCell, we had all the components of the epidermis and dermis, meaning the HA, collagen, and the chondroitin sulfate. On the stratum corneum, which is the very, very top layer of your skin, there needs to be a protective skin barrier. And that comes from the lipid, waxy sort of property of the ceramides that helps to protect it and actually binds the moisture and keeps from the skin really breaking and causing any sort of water loss. And so this is really important. So now we have in this formulation this incredibly complete approach to skin health. And that's why if you know of anyone who is a skin expert, once they see the Liquid BioCell combined with phytoceramides, they will be absolutely blown away because it's a complete approach. And in addition to all of the different other ingredients we have in here too, it's really important that the ceramides that have been shown effective through clinical research are plant-derived. That's why they're called phytoceramides. If anyone ever asks you if we're using plant-derived ceramides, the answer is yes. And again, I mentioned to you earlier that cera means wax in original Latin word terminology. That's because it's a waxy lipid molecule. So again, you have two different kinds of properties here, causing a skin barrier to make sure that your skin isn't dehydrated from the outside in. And you're also combining that with the power of Liquid BioCell that will prevent loss of the collagen and HA, will help to synthesize more of it. What I've also done throughout this PowerPoint presentation, as you might notice, is at the bottom I've referenced clinical trials that actually are referenced in PubMed and published clinical trials on each of these different ingredients. So we'll be able to get this recording to you so you can reference that as well. But I wanted to make sure that you knew that everything in this formulation comes from supported research as well. Now, you might be asking, also in this formulation, we have a substantial amount of vitamin C. Vitamin C is absolutely critical, and I would say that this makes it really brings up the potential of this formulation. One is vitamin C is so essential and actually necessary for efficient collagen synthesis. Collagen synthesis cannot happen without vitamin C. And I'll put it to you this way, and you probably remember this even, we studied this. It's not really an epidemic anymore, but it used to be at one point, especially, years ago on Mayflower when we heard about scurvy, for example, was a disease. This disease is actually not just vitamin C deficiency, but because it's actually a disease that indicates that there's a defective collagen production in the body. The reason why there's a defective collagen production in the body is because there's a lack of vitamin C in that individual's diet. If you don't have a sufficient amount of vitamin C, you will not be able to produce collagen. And so that's why it is absolutely critical that vitamin C is elevated to levels that it can actually help to boost or accelerate collagen synthesis if you want the true, the maximum benefits from the potential of synthesizing collagen. So that's why it was important to also include vitamin C in the formulation here. The next you'll see here is another ingredient, a star ingredient called bamboo extract. This is the richest known source of all natural silica. It's critically important in being able to help to produce or retain the calcium content in our bones, cartilage, skin, muscles. If there was such a thing called the French paradox, as we know, many times we've understood that story and told that story. If there's a French secret for beauty, the equivalent would be bamboo extract, or silica, really. It's what in Europe is considered nature's internal cosmetic. It's been used for ages to be able to maintain healthy hair, teeth, gums, nails, skin. Silica that we derive from bamboo extract is actually helping to stimulate collagen production. So you can kind of see a theme here. One is that everything that we put into this formulation is doing one thing. It's helping to boost the cellular production of the most critical components of strong skin. And that includes whether it's HA or collagen mainly, and all of these different ingredients are here to be able to produce and stimulate the growth of collagen or HA. And for example, especially with silica, it's actually helping to be able to have multiple benefits. It really has been used in ancient traditional Chinese medicine as well. It's been used for a number of different reasons. It's really essential to eye health, to cardiovascular health, to even mind and lungs, and so many different benefits. They say that it even helps with sleeplessness. It's been around for a very long time and is very critical to particularly the elastic ability of our nails and shiny quality to our hair, for example. And so it makes for a perfect complement to the vitamin C, ceramides, and the liquid BioCell. Now, there's another important component as well. So we'll go to the next slide here, which is the grapeseed and green tea extracts that we have in our formulation. So green tea extract is extremely beneficial for, it's actually rich in polyphenols, and grapeseed extract is very, very rich in also, antioxidants, particularly being known to have 20 times the antioxidant power of vitamin E and 50 times the antioxidant power of vitamin C. So you can see that this is critical, these ingredients are really critical in being able to provide powerful antioxidants. Why do we want to do that? Because we want to be able to protect our skin, and especially from free radical damage. And believe it or not, there's a study that I'll get to in just a minute. But what's nice about this combination here is that it's actually been shown to have inhibitory action on collagenase. So I'm sure you're familiar with our liquid BioCell being able to inhibit hyaluronidase, the enzyme that makes your skin age by way of breaking down hyaluronic acid. Well, this combination of these extracts actually has been shown to inhibit the action on collagenase in a very similar fashion. So imagine if we're actually helping to reduce that enzyme breaking down collagen, we're reducing the enzyme that breaks down HA, that we have a multifaceted benefit that is derived from such powerful antioxidants. So that is the other ingredients in here too, and we'll move on to our next slide here to show you. And what I did here is that for the sake of time, I wanted to just give you an example of some of the different, there's 14 different antioxidant-rich fruits in this formulation, some of which you're familiar with that we do have in our Liquid BioCell Life product. Others you may not be familiar with, and I'll go over, and these are just some of the studies. So I just listed references here on published studies on many of these fruits that are listed here. But I'll go over a couple that you may not be all that familiar with and kind of go over those a little bit. The first of which is actually acerola. Acerola cherry, you might have heard of that. This actually does look just like a cherry. It's sometimes known to be called the West Indian cherry or Puerto Rican cherry. It is actually very it grows, abundantly throughout South America, Central America, even the South in the United States. It's extremely high in vitamin C. So often you might even find on the shelf vitamin C that's derived purely from acerola cherry as the source. Why do we include this in here? It's because it's so high in vitamin C, and of course a higher content of vitamin C will help to stimulate collagen production. And then, of course, we have Schisandra, which is another great ingredient that we have, which is also, it's one of these categorized as an adaptogen, which is one of these herbs. It's been known in Chinese medicine as well, which is really good for energy, endurance, and particularly it's been known to beautify skin. And so this is a rare, benefit that comes from a particularly, if you look at the picture of this, it actually looks like a red berry, a really shiny, brighter red, kind of a bold red, like our new logo, type of, cherry type of a fruit. Another ingredient another fruit that you might not be familiar with that we have in this formulation is amla, and this is basically the Indian or Nepalese gooseberry. It kind of looks a little yellow-greenish, berry. So whereas the red type of cherry or berry-looking fruit, this one is actually more of a yellow-greenish-looking berry. This is extremely rich in vitamin C. It's been used in Ayurvedic medicine and products for a really, really long time. Another product that you might not be familiar with is the jaboticaba fruit as well, which is an emerging fruit crop from Brazil, and there's a number of different comprehensive benefits to this, but really it's the main benefit of this is that by itself it actually contains 32 different polyphenols in it. And so we have just an incredible amount of antioxidants in this skin formulation by way of all of these different fruits. So what we'll do is we'll move on to continue to talk about the next product here. And again, I just want to remind everyone that you have your Hello Beautiful app to be able to keep track of the benefits that you're going to see in your skin and all of the business partners that you're building and consumers that you're bringing on. It's such a tremendous tool to be able to do that. So I hope that you have all downloaded that. If you haven't already, it's all available there as well to support you with that product specifically. Now let's move on to our Liquid BioCell Sport. Now this is extremely exciting. This is NSF for Sport certified, which means that it has been cleared on every batch level of over 180 banned substances that could possibly ever get in the way of any testing for athletic organizations that ban performance enhancement drugs. So we are dually certified. Our manufacturing facility is NSF and NSF for Sport certified on a CGMP compliant level and on a facility level. And then now we have the Liquid BioCell Sport, which is certified on the product level. So we have in here branched-chain amino acids. We have L-carnitine, rhodiola, astragalus extracts, and 9 different antioxidants as well, derived from other ingredients. So let's go into all of these for a little bit. Now, one I want to go over, one thing I definitely want to do is review with you the most important aspect of what really motivated us to start in this sports nutrition area as heavily as we have recently. Liquid BioCell has always been an important contributor to joint health and skin health, and because of that, and because of some inclination that we had known, we had suspected that it probably aided with with exercise recovery and function just as much as it did with joint cartilage or connective tissue function as well. And so what we did earlier in the year was we did an initial study, and the study design was really developed on a randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled design, of course, using a number of subjects that were split into two groups. They were healthy, recreationally active subjects, aged 18 to 55 years old, and they were supplementing with our BioCell collagen for 6 weeks, and they were followed with, after their supplementation, with an exercise stress challenge test to see what would happen if, based upon the people that were taking our active ingredient versus the people that were not. And the results were pretty astounding. It was very interesting, and the conclusions were this, is that we know that our active ingredient may mitigate the muscle damaging effects of intense resistance exercise, and that it may support connective tissue, actually integrity of the skeletal muscle, and especially in enhanced stress resilience to exhaustive resistance exercise particularly. So this is really important for potential applications for people who are looking to strengthen, their musculoskeletal activity of healthy people, for reducing damage or inflammation as well during sports activity. And also, what was important is that the study actually showed potential application for us to be able to demonstrate speedy recovery from discomfort caused by sports activity. So you can see where the direction of this is going and heading, and so we're really excited about the results that were demonstrated at the ISSN, and our results are actually going to be published in a journal in PubMed pretty shortly here. And this is the basis for us to know that we are going to be trailblazing in the world of sports nutrition on the basis of collagen and HA, which really has rarely ever been demonstrated. So what we did to really have a unique formulation here, to be ahead of the curve and really ahead of the market here, is to develop a formulation for athletes or anyone who's working out and engaged in strenuous exercise or endurance exercise, something that would really help them perform at their best. So we combined the power of liquid BioCell, especially knowing its effect on connective tissue protection, but also recovery from exercise, and resistance and the resilience level as well in intense exercise. We combined it with branched-chain amino acids and L-carnitine and a number of other extracts as well. So let's go over the first, power, ingredient that's in combination with this in this formula. Branched-chain amino acids. So there's about 20 different amino acids in our bodies. There's half of them are essential, half of them are non-essential. The non-essential ones are the ones that our bodies produce. Essential ones are the ones that we need to actually supplement and intake. These are L-leucine, L-isoleucine, L-valine are three of which that are essential branched-chain amino acids that our body needs. When taking these, you are able to, actually there's a lot of research on this. There are many people and athletes that purely, if there's one supplement that they believe in, that they constantly and consistently take, and could be a supplement of choice out of anything, would be branched-chain amino acids. There's a lot of research behind it, and it helps to prevent fatigue. It improves concentration, exercise performance. It actually helps to reduce the muscle breakdown during intense exercise and stimulates the protein synthesis. So remember, when you have a higher rate of protein synthesis and a higher ability to repair that muscle, then you have the a better ability to have less muscle loss. And so that means that you are going to retain a higher lean body mass, and that can lead to a number of different benefits as well. So we're really excited to have branched-chain amino acids in our formulation, as any athletic formulations would not be complete without it. In addition to that, we also have L-carnitine as another ingredient. This is also very, very important. Now, we know that L-carnitine, through research as well, has been indicated to help athletic performance, specifically endurance exercise. There's other benefits as well that is undergoing research even currently. So there's more and more discovery that is happening right now, including even potential heart health benefits. But probably the most important role of carnitine in our bodies is that it's really helpful in burning fat for fuel. So basically, oxidizing fat for fuel. So basically your body can use that fat as an energy source, and it's really important to do that because it's helping to produce energy. So that actually elevates the ability to have higher and better performance during exercise, and there have been studies that show that performance amongst, in placebo-controlled performance, is that there was higher results basically in the group that had been taking carnitine versus groups that had not been, and actually that they had better ability to utilize fat that was stored as a form of energy and fuel as well. So that was extremely important to see that. Now, in our formula also we included rhodiola and astragalus extracts. So these are also important components of our formulation, particularly because we are, kind of going back to the original, message, which is that, not the original message, but we actually had talked a little bit about and this is basically on the next slide here that you'll see, which is that there's something called aptogens, and these are natural cortisol controlling compounds in our body, and they're mainly a lot of herbs are in the adaptogens family. So what you're going to find is roots, especially that you might be familiar with, are in this category. I just covered Schisandra, which was in our other formula, and that's an adaptogen as well. And so is rhodiola and astragalus as well. But there's also ginger, even reishi mushrooms, for example, are in the same category. There's evidence that there may be the possibility that because it has an ability to help, from building up lactic acid in the body, that it even helps to protect the brain from a lack of oxygen under stressful situations. So these are really great additions to the formulation here as well. There's also research on this that shows that it helps to improve. I mean, imagine if you're able to have more oxygen in your cells, then you're probably able to have better endurance and exercise performance as well. So again, this is one of those. These are two, different types of, plants and herbs that have been used for hundreds of years, and especially in Chinese medicine even. So it roots back way longer than, how long we've been using them here. And it just happens to be that not just I was kind of covering the mushrooms as well. There's also other types of adaptogens as well. And anyways, I want to keep going on here before we lose too much time here. But you're going to find that some people are using just those two in combination because there's research that shows that the two in combination is really what produces the efficacy on endurance and performance. And so that's why they're included together. Now, we have in here as well a number of different antioxidant-rich fruits in the sport formulation, so I listed the different studies on here. Most of these I have gone over already. Probably one area that you'll find really, probably unique besides the rhodiola and astragalus that we just went over is the chia seeds, and many of you are very familiar with the benefits of chia seeds. And so we're pleased to be able to include that as a part of the formulation as well. And I would like to keep going on here because I'm getting short on time and I see a number of different questions coming up. So I would like to turn it over to you, David, in case there's any questions that are being brought up right now, in case we wanted to go over anything in particular. Okay, you know what I'm going to do is I have a couple of questions here, and I just wanted to make sure I had enough time to answer these. I'm getting a question here saying, do I take all of these products? What if I want the benefits of all of these? The most important aspect that I really want to get across is that in the sport formulation, the daily dose of the branched-chain amino acids, you must take the full case per month. In order for you to have a full, the daily dose of the BCAAs, you really do need to take 2 ounces twice a day. So if you're going to address the needs of an athlete or someone who's going to replace their BCAAs altogether, you should be taking the full 2 ounces twice a day of the sports product. And then what you can do is supplement that. If you want to take an extra ounce or extra couple of ounces of the skin or a couple of extra ounces of the life to get your, resveratrol in or something like that. But if you have someone who is strictly looking for the benefits of the athletic performance, you definitely want them to be taking the full dosage of the sports every month. So if that makes any sense, because they're not going to get the full dosage of the BCAAs unless they're taking it 2 times, at least 2 ounces twice a day, minimum of 2 ounces twice a day, obviously. Now, you can take and same thing goes for the skin formulation, obviously. We formulate it so on a daily basis, you would be able to have a full dose of your ceramides, your phytoceramides in a given day. So I would say that they would probably, it all depends on the intended use. So if someone is particularly asking for, benefits targeting one thing or another, you definitely want them to take the full dosage of that and then supplement it with others. As far as the liquid BioCell goes, because we definitely know it's extremely beneficial for skin, when you're taking the sport product, you'll definitely find that all the skin benefits still exist. So all of these athletes or exercise fanatics or healthy people, obviously you don't have to be an athlete to take the sport formulation, they will also, look younger and benefit from that as well. So I think the best thing to do is to make sure that we're just following the needs of the other person who's taking it, if that makes any sense. And I am getting, do we have any other questions, David, that you wanted me to address here?
Yes, Asma, we're getting a few questions. One of them is, should we take 5 days on and 2 days off because of the adaptogens?
No, you don't need to do that. In fact, the dosage here has been designed for this to be a consistent daily dose for 1 month straight. So you do not need to do any kind of cycling of that.
Okay, and then there are some questions about the gluten because of ceramides, and another question about just the dosage, verifying what the dosage is, and another one about NSFs for sport, what that means.
Okay, great. So let me answer the question about all of these products are GMO-free. The liquid BioCell skin is not gluten-free. However, and that's because the phytoceramides is actually derived from wheat. Now, sometimes people don't have problems with, the phytoceramides in the way that they do have with, pure gluten from a different source. That's what I hear, but I don't know. If someone has a gluten, allergy or disease, then it would be best to recommend that they take the Life product instead or the Sport product instead. But all of them are the same, GMO-free as well. And your second question, I believe, was what does NSF for sport mean? Is that what your question was?
Yes, that's a question coming in.
Okay, great. So NSF is an organization that certifies, basically it's a third-party organization that certifies a manufacturer or a finished product having met certain guidelines or regulatory expectations. NSF for sport certification goes a step further and tells the consumer, if they see this on the finished product label, that they have tested the finished product batch to guarantee to the consumer that it meets all the label claims, that it also meets their third-party validation, that it is free of any of the banned substances, that athletes would not pass any of their drug testing for. Also, they do a number of different testing. They organic and inorganic analyses. They do ingredient confirmations. They do contaminant analysis, heavy metals, pesticides, processing impurities, dioxins, unknown mixtures. They do all of these different lab tests for every single batch to be able to confirm to the consumer who sees this logo on a label that it has met all of these, compliance expectations for that certification, basically. So it takes the certification level from the facility standpoint to the next level, where they actually test the finished product, every single batch of that finished product. And why is this important? Because there's a number of different organizations that need a third-party credibility or validation that says, look, we believe you as a marketer and the maker of this finished product, but we want a third party that's going to come in and is unbiased and can tell us that what you're saying is actually true, that this is not contaminated with any banned substances, that our athletes would be able to use this and we wouldn't have any worry about them not passing any kind of a drug test or it impeding any of their athletic performance or anything like that. So when it comes to USADA or any of these organizations like the National Baseball Leagues and NFL, NBA, all these organizations, college football or college athletic organizations as well, all tend to have one standard, which is that they tell their athletes not to take a product unless it has a NSF certified for sports, and that's the safest way that they know that they for sure don't have to be concerned about banned substances in their sports supplements.
Excellent. And we had a couple other questions coming in. One was about the ingredients. Where can they get a copy of the ingredients? And that is available on Jusuru.com under products. And all of this is also in our new product catalog as well. And so that is one answer to that. And in addition to that, another question that we're getting is more on the business side of things, relating to this momentum and growth concept with these new products and a lot of the excitement and the momentum that's coming. What are, I guess, the sizes of the warehouses where this product is made and manufactured, just to show that we're poised for the momentum ahead, basically, is one of the questions we just came through.
Well, that's a great question. I think that's what the whole plan is here. We know we want to go after different markets. We want to go after different demographics. We want to get everybody, every person's cousin and niece and nephew and student on all of these products. Every person's med spa, esthetician, everybody using all of our products. And so obviously we've planned for growth. If you haven't been to our last open house or our Rice Enterprise ribbon cutting ceremony, you'll see that we had expanded. We actually moved our offices and warehouse over to 1250 North Red Gum, right next door, because we bought the building here to move our offices. And what we're doing with the liquid manufacturing plant, which is right next door, is using that for purely just manufacturing. So we're going to be adding additional lines, using that space for whatever we need. One thing that we've become really good at doing is really building out and anticipating forward-looking growth as well. So right now we are well over a couple 100,000 square feet now between our buildings, and it's very exciting. And so we are fully capable of producing, all the supply. We aren't to capacity by any means, and so we are ready for the growth. I mean, we have built it, and we're ready to go. So, and if we need to build it bigger, we certainly can and have the capability of doing so.
Absolutely, and thank you for covering that. Just a couple more to wrap it up, because I know we're basically just about out of time here. A couple people have asked, can we get this a copy of this recording, or can we listen to this or share it with our team or prospects? And the answer to that is yes. This webinar will be available in your IRIP Office Resources tab tomorrow. And most of the information in this PowerPoint actually comes from your new product catalogs, as well as the launch book that we will share with you before we wrap this up. And now the last question that we had that came through, I believe we've answered everything about mixing the dosages and so forth, or I'm sorry, mixing the products. I believe Asma covered that. The last question was regarding specific disease, and as you know, this product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease. Talk to your doctor before taking any dietary supplement. And with that, Asma, I believe we have covered all the questions that we have in front of us.
Okay, well, that sounds great. Well, anything that comes up, you're more than welcome to let us know, and let us know how we can be of help. And thank you very much for being on the call. And I'm going to hand it back over to you, David, if you wanted to go over the launch packs too.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Asma, and I speak on behalf of all of us. What an incredible training. It's so great to hear that. In fact, I just got a text message saying Asma is a genius formulator. They use genius in all caps, and we've always called you the walking encyclopedia, but more than anything else, as our leader and our president, your depth of product knowledge is so incredible and so helpful for all of us who are out there talking about it, and so we appreciate that. And I am here to share with you our limited time launch offer, the new launch pack, our product launch pack, perfect for not only your launch events, but just to really get a sampling of everything that gets you up and running to promote these new products, is still on special through the end of December. Here's the special. You're going to save almost $75. You're saving literally $73.35. You're going to get 1 case of Liquid BioCell Sport. That's 4 bottles. You're going to get 1 case of Liquid BioCell Skin. That's another 4 bottles. You'll get 50 product catalogs that we've been referencing on this webinar. You'll get 50 of the launch books, which talk about all the exciting initiatives that you can hand out to your business builders alike, and you get 150 Life, Sport, and Skin trifolds to get you into business. Now, this is all available for only $350, and $300 of that is commissionable. So your commissionable volume on our launch pack limited time offer is $300. The special pricing is $350 now through the end of September. So take a look at that. You can certainly call support, email support, and also check in your IREP office and pick up that launch pack if you haven't already. Encourage your teams. And with that, we just thank you so much for being on tonight, and we will have many more calls like this in the near future, and we will talk to you again later. Thank you so much. Join us tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific for our power prospecting call. Same dial-in as today's call, 3 p.m. Pacific and 6 p.m. tomorrow Pacific for our product and business overview. Thank you very much. Good night, everybody.